Finland's winter war lasted 105 days. Your war has lasted 10 times longer. We understand what you're going through. We will support you for as long as it takes. We support you because it is morally right. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security. We support you because you're fighting for your independence. But we also support you because you're fighting for Europe's security.
Finland, they are in support of Biafra. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow Biafra to declare their nation in their land. Finland also fought for their own freedom. They can never be against what they have been into one time, in their lifetime. So whatever they are doing now is to clear Ekpa. And the only way to clear Ekpa is to bring him to a point of scrutiny where they scrutinize him and they will prove to the world that they have scrutinized this young man and they have found out that he's not doing anything evil. That is where they are. So Nigeria is losing out because at the end of the day, they won't find anything evil against him.
All right. So a lot of people has been worried and has begun to ask questions if Finland is in support of Biafra or they are not. Especially since after the arrest of Simon Ekpa. And the worst part of it is that Simon Ekpa was arrested at a very critical time when he was needed the most. They arrested him. So since then, a lot of people has been, we don't know whether these people support us or they don't support us. We don't know what is happening. We don't know what is happening. Don't worry. Now, what I want you to do is watch this video this brother said. All right. So after watching it, I'll give you my own little analysis. Maybe that will clarify you a little whether Finland is for Biafrans or they are against Biafrans. But for now, please, just calmly watch this video.
I want to use this opportunity to talk about, some questions and some issues going on online. People are asking, people are saying that Ekpa is arrested. In fact, somebody wrote me and said I should make a comment about Ekpa. I've told you, there is no way Finland will want to support something like Biafra without clearing themselves and making themselves to be cleared. I told you that Finland is trying to prove a point. And what point are they trying to prove? That they are not supporting anything evil, but they are not equally against anybody fighting for his freedom. Finland can never be against anyone fighting for his freedom. We know, Nigerians know, everybody know that Ekpa is not a terrorist. Ekpa is only fighting for Biafra. It is very, very clear. And whatever Finland is doing right now is to come to a point where they will align with Ekpa's vision so that it will be popularly known that these people are not supporting anything evil, rather they are supporting a good cause. So it is a reasonable thing to do. It is a reasonable thing to cross-check. It is a reasonable thing to, find out, do what they're supposed to do in order to, to stand on the right side so that anywhere they go, they won't, be robbed into something that is, that will mess up their integrity as a nation. So whatever they are doing now is to bring Ekpa to a point where it will be clear that Ekpa is fighting for a just cause. So everything that is happening on cause. It's not something that is happening. You cannot say you don't understand what I'm trying to say. Finland, they are in support of Biafra. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow Biafra to declare their nation in their land. Finland also fought for their own freedom. They can never be against what they have been into one time, in their lifetime. So whatever they are doing now is to clear Ekpa. And the only way to clear Ekpa is to bring him to a point of scrutiny where they scrutinize him and they will prove to the world that they have scrutinized this young man and they have found out that he's not doing anything evil. That is where they are. So Nigeria is losing out because at the end of the day, they won't find anything evil against him. Remember that ICC, remember that UN have written to Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu. Why? Because they know that Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist, rather he was fighting for freedom. And Ekpa is also in the shoe of Nnamdi Kanu. So there is no way you expect, Finland to prosecute him and send him to jail for nothing. Remember, this is not the first time Finland have picked interest in Ekpa's matter. So at the end of the day, they are working. It is going to be for good. So wherever you are, never it's just like a man who is fighting for something that he believes that is going to advance his life. You're going to face challenges, but at the end of the day, you will win if you are determined. So we are determined, we are resolute. Now, about the change of government, the people that were dropped and other people were picked. It's not a new thing because it has already been, Ekpa has said it that after the convention, they are going to step down some people and pick other people. Now, there are weaklings. It's not everything I'm going to say. There are weaklings. There are people who are easily bought over. But at the end of the day, they are sure that whatever they are doing it for the actualization of Biafra. And hear me, I repeat what I have said. Biafra must come, and it's not going to be far from now. Keep your feet high. Keep your hope high. What my advice for my Yoruba brethren and for my Hausa brothers is to fight for their own nation. Break away from Nigeria. Nigeria has become a disease because it's a United Kingdom company. Let's break away from this so that we can work and build our nations to become what we expect it to be. Thank you. Share this video, comment on this video, and let this video go viral so that everyone will be encouraged. We need Biafrans to be encouraged. This is a time to stand strong. Somebody asked me when. I told him, it's just like asking the children of Israel, when are you going to be liberated from the Egyptians? So we don't know the time, but we will walk until we will meet the time. Thank you, and remember.
To be speaking about Nigeria in Lahti, Finland. Only very recently did I have a chance to meet and to speak with your ministers and discuss your cause. And I'm very glad that Michael Rubin spoke to all of you. I have great respect for him, and he writes about liberty and freedom around the world regularly in Washington. I have visited Nigeria and have been incredibly impressed at the people that I have met. As I traveled across Nigeria, I found people who were entrepreneurial, who worked extraordinarily hard, who were people of faith, people who cared for their families, and people with extraordinary potential. Yet I found that they suffered under a government that did not live up to its responsibilities to protect them and to protect those opportunities for them, and a government that in many cases seemed to be working against them instead of for them. Now, Nigeria, as anyone who looks at would recognize, is extraordinarily important, not only for Africa, but to the world. It has the largest population and economy in Africa. Africa itself is a continent of extraordinary potential. A growing population when most of the rest of the world, including America, have declining populations. But we see vibrancy and growth in Africa. And Nigeria has so much to offer, not only, to Africans, but also to Americans and to people around the world. I have occasionally gotten into a taxi cab to go to the airport, and my driver, it turns out, came from Africa. And we will discuss where he or she came from and what their home was like. And what I am particularly concerned about, like Michael Rubin, is concerned about human rights, about religious liberty, about economic opportunity, all of which are fundamental for human people everywhere on earth. And despite problems in my country, and as all of you recognize, all countries have some problems, and I accept with my own as well, the United States has done generally pretty good at trying to protect those opportunities and those liberties, which is why we've drawn people from Nigeria to America. But you shouldn't have to leave your country to have those opportunities.
All right, so you have seen it and you have heard it, right? Now, if you ask me that question, whether Finland is supporting Biafra or not, I will answer you yes, that Finland is supporting Biafra. On the other hand, I will say no, Finland is not supporting Biafra. I can explain. Now, over there, they are civilized and they live by rule of law. So whatever you are doing that is within the context of the rule of law, you are covered. But anything you do outside the context of the rule of law, you will be persecuted. However, this case now of Simon Ekpa involves, another country, all right? Like Simon Ekpa talking about Nigeria, and Nigeria has been reporting about Simon Ekpa. So it involves a lot of diplomacy, all right? It involves a lot of diplomacy. So it's not really something I can explain here, all right? But it involves a lot of diplomacy. So but one thing you have to know is that they live and abide by rule of law. For instance, Simon Ekpa is being detained now. If at the end of the day, after looking at all the evidences and see that, Oga, this man is not inciting any violence or is not committing or commanding any terrorist group, come on, you are free to go and continue whatever you are doing. So they live by rule of law. All right. So that is it. So if you ask me, I will say yes, Finland is supporting, but no, Finland is not supporting. All right. So that is just it. I hope you get it. Now drop your own comment on the comment section. All right. What do you think? Do you think that Finland is supporting? Yes or no? Drop it on the comment section. Let's discuss about that. All right. Thank you very much. And in case you're coming across my channel for the first time, you're welcome. Please do well to subscribe to this channel. All right. Thank you and God bless you.